we were a punk rock band, so you can see we are jumping.
He's
here.
a punk rocker. Okay, I saw this. Okay, a lot of people do not know this. Razin is also a recording artist.
Formerly.
Formerly recording artist. Okay, so he was guitarist for what was your Mortal Flower.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Coach Rafi, and today will be my first vlog session. I would like to invite you to visit a friend of mine who has a photo studio, and let's get to know more about him and his business. Alright, so join me, let's go. Okay, we are now here at Lion Building. So we are going to visit Razin, who is the owner of MacPherson Studio. He's here, I think he's in level 3 and he's waiting for us. So come on, join me and let's have coffee with him. Right, so this is MacPherson Studio. Okay, you can see. And it's from Pixel Gallery Private Limited 0303. And let's give a knock. Assalamualaikum. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is Razin. That's that. MacPherson Studio owner. Okay. So we're gonna have a talk with him. Come on in. Let's have a discussion more about his business.
Hello everybody. Hi. Okay. So I'm here in MacPherson Studio with the owner of MacPherson Studio, Razin. Okay. So today we are just going to talk more about his business and also about the industry. Because currently what we have now is we have a lot of photographers, and because of the low barrier to entry for everyone to become a photographer, so it makes it very important for any photographer to understand how they should overcome the challenges in the present market or the present situation in Singapore. So, Razin, thank you for allowing me to interview you.
My pleasure. Welcome to our studio.
Yeah, MacPherson Studio. So the first thing is, I want to ask you, why did you choose the name MacPherson Studio?
Because the strategic location that the studio is just beside MacPherson MRT station, and it's also something that we can remember easier. And it's also I think every Singaporean knows about the word MacPherson, so it's something that is easily pick up when you say over the phone, when you write down. So it's, to me, that's the convenience of the word MacPherson Studio.
Because I always get this when anyone opens a business, they would either use their own name, or they like to have initials of their children, or things like that. So it's quite. When I saw the MacPherson Studio, I realized that it is also sounds very professional, and also due to the location and all that. I think to me it makes a very good choice for name of the studio, right? So how long have you started? How long did you start? When did you start this your business?
Okay, there was a few business companies that I started. This is the most current one, MacPherson Studio. We started the studio in 2013. Before that, I was with a group of partners. We had another company. We also did photo, video, but more focused on the wedding industry. And before that, I was on my own doing photography as a freelance and a hobby. Yeah. So altogether, maybe about 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
Yes.
So okay, then when you chose to when did you just had this studio? When did you move here and build this studio?
Okay, I moved here in 2013, and that was I think 7 years ago.
All right.
Yeah. So that's how I started. Of course, before this, me and my previous partners, we had a smaller studio in Arab Street.
Okay.
It was a shop house. Yeah, but learning from the experience of working in a shop house, those shortcomings of the shop house, like it's narrow, there's no lift because we need to carry equipment up, and sometimes elderly people cannot climb out the staircase. So all these learning points, and also like accessibility, like car park, MRT, I learned from the experience, and when I moved here, I choose here because it overcomes all those difficulties I had in the first office.
All right.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the choice of location for you to start your studio, what was your main, the most important factor for you to decide upon?
Okay, I think it depends on the kind of business that I wanted to do. I wanted to rent the studio to other photographers also. So as such, I decided that accessibility, convenience of getting to this place is important.
Right.
And that's why, and I also want to make easy for me also at the same time that it is near town where most of our corporate clients are.
Okay.
And also Ubi areas also there's a lot of business here.
Alright.
Yeah, so those strategic area, we find that this is the most comfortable place to be at the budget that we can afford.
Okay, that's most important, most strategic. Remember, most strategic and at the budget that you can afford. So don't overspend when you want to start building a studio. Okay, then the next question I want to ask you is this: how much did you need to have to start this studio, and how big is the studio? I mean, the whole space.
Okay, the whole space, easiest answer, is about 1,000 square feet, and because this is an industrial area, I have to justify that the studio side is the production side, and the one that's near the door is my office.
Okay.
So there is some of the rules and regulation of having operations in the industrial estate.
So that's one of the things that people must know before they embark. Okay, I just want to create a studio in an industrial estate.
And secondly, okay, the budget. I initially put aside 50,000, but that was really bare minimum.
Alright.
Just installation of the electricity, 3-phase 64 watt. I think already the wiring already cost $10,000.
Wiring alone cost 10,000. Wow, imagine that. The wiring cost 10,000.
Yeah, the circuit breaker, the special circuit breaker. I think those in the construction line will be aware. I wasn't aware, so it was a big shock to me. And subsequently, because when I took over this unit, it was actually a storeroom, so there wasn't electrical supply except for a small light bulb. Okay. Then, so I had to install the electrical supply. I also had to install the aircon, which is as you can see, there are 5 units here.
Right.
Okay. Which is still cheaper than fixing the cassette aircon.
Okay.
And then after the 50,000 initial, along the first year or two, we still keep on getting more capital spending, such as furniture, equipment, accessories, improvement, enhancement. Because if you want to have everything at the start, easily 100k. So you start with your bare minimum to kick the ball rolling, and as when you earn a bit, you spend a bit on things that you need first.
So take note, 100k is not just 10k or 20k or something like that, right? Because what people don't realize is when they want to have a space, their own space, they have to look into basically when it comes to renovation, the rules and regulations that they have to adhere to. So this would incur a lot of cost, right? So again, please consult your renovation contractor or or agents who are qualified to give you the advice. Okay, don't ask me. This is not my area. But again, the reason why we are doing this is we want to interview. So for budding photographers who want to build their own business, would have a bit of clear direction of how much they need at the same time. So that doesn't include your cameras and all that, or does it already include the startup cost?
Include more on the hardware of the studio. Cameras I already have from the prior to moving in here. So of course, I need to buy more flashes, studio flash up here, mount them up. At the moment, I have about 15 studio flash.
15 strobes.
Strobes, but because we always need a few set. One is for the studio, and sometimes because mine is mounted on the ceiling already, with the movable railing. So if I have an outdoor one, I have to have a second set. And also a standby set in case things go wrong. So that's why I end up having so many strobes.
Okay. So for those of you who do not know, this was one of the first few places that I first conducted my training when I first became a business coach. So again, this place brings a lot of sentimental value to me. Okay, when I remember when I first started, I think both of us were quite new to the scene and all that, and I saw how you grew, the business. Again, I saw. Okay, tell us, who have you, any important people or VIP or artists that have came here for a shoot or something like that?
Quite a number. It's quite hard to remember.
Okay, just give me the ones that you can remember. I know the beautiful ladies that always come here. That show. We must get some photos later to have to show his the what I call that, the fun that he has when he is shooting all these. So again, who have entered? I know.
Politicians have been here because they need photos for their marketing and outreach program. Celebrities from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, China have been here.
Oh, China as well. How about Korean? Nowadays
Korean has been here. Japanese people has been here.
All right.
Also, people from Europe, New Zealand. So almost quite a lot of foreign artists have been here.
What made them? How do they get to know MacPherson Studio? Was it because of Razin, or was it because it was MacPherson Studio? Because I know you're a professional photographer, you're a master photographer, right? So the marketing strategy, was it based on a personal branding, or did you go into SEO or things like that?
Okay, I have a background in IT.
All right.
So I attended some SEO courses. So I do my own SEO, but at the same time I also have paid service from Google also.
Okay.
So it's a multi-prong approach, word of mouth, friends. But I market MacPherson Studio first because I wanted the studio to grow beyond me. Of course, my name I will market in another strategy, but the studio is I would not say it's linked to anyone. It is a name on its own. Just like I model myself after like McDonald's. You do not know who's the cook. Anybody can be the cook. But the brand will stay. And I also initially I do have plans to expand to KL and maybe other cities nearby. But of course, that one is a long-term strategy. But I think with the word MacPherson Studio, it's quite mobile. It can go anywhere. If I put in MacPherson in KL or MacPherson in Penang or Bangkok, I think it still sells. So that's the strategy.
Okay. So far, right, 15 years, again 15 years in the business and all that, and we see a shift. I think during the time when you first started, it was a lot of film photography, but now they switched to digital quite some time back. But then now the price of digital cameras has gone down, right? Even the entry level DSLR, you can get it for below $1,000, right? And I know when I first started, my D70 was $2,800 for us. So it made a lot of people become photographers overnight, right? Photographers, and they will market. Again, now there's a lot of ways to market yourself. Facebook, you have carousel and all to market your services and all that. Okay. What is the impact on photographers, professional photographers like you? Does it really give an issue in your business, and how did you overcome these challenges that I think is one of them? Because when I talk to other photographers, they are actually really hurting when as they are moving along in their journey as being a photographer as their main income.
Okay. My first strategy, I run MacPherson Studio. I rent to photographers. More photographers, better for me.
More photographers. So that is one of the strategies. So in other words, that
service provider.
So you know that this is an increase in the market in terms of it. So you support that market. You don't compete in that market, but you actually more of supporting.
I mean, I do still shoot. So in a way, I'm still in the market, but as a second strategy, because I always feel that when you do business, it cannot be too simplified. You have to be multi-pronged.
Right.
Like even like you advertise, word of mouth, flyers, Google, Instagram.
Yeah.
Also in business strategy also, if you are shooting, then you're also supplying and also teaching and all these things. So you have various avenues of income.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the challenges, ever since digital age, of course there's more photographers here, and while the level of business have increased because of e-commerce, people need pictures, everybody can do business now, it's so much easier. The value of the photography assignment or job has dropped.
It has
Because
dropped,
people, thanks to handphone, or unfortunately,
Thanks to the handphone,
people now see photography as something simple. Just bring up your handphone, snap, and handphone are very good nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, even in a dark or difficult lighting environment, the newest handphone can overcome a lot of things that last time even DSLR was struggling to shoot. Yeah, so that gives the perception that photography is easy. So, and because of that, and due to volume of photographers coming in, naturally oversupply, price drop.
All right, the price drop.
Yeah.
So again, when we talk about price drop, right? I think you still manage to maintain a certain number that you are comfortable with. Then you don't need to really slash the price. Or did everyone, the whole industry, did they have to slash price with regards to shooting and all that?
It depends on the genre of photography. For example, like event photography, the price is now very low.
Right.
It's less than $100 an hour. For other kinds of photography, maybe there is still a barrier to entry in terms of your networking, in terms of your skill set. Because certain things, if you don't know how to shoot, you just don't know. You cannot just take unless your client don't care. If your client are very particular and they want high quality images and global standard, and they will not look for someone that is just I offer you $50 kind of range. They will look for someone, and most of all they also look for someone who has let's say a advertising agency that works with the photographer. So that kind of networking is quite hard to enter because you need to know people and you need to have a good portfolio.
So we now also discussing, we talk about networking, right? So again, see, when we talk about building a business, it's not just about selling and marketing, but you also need to do other aspects of the business to understand the market and also adapt, right? I think you have adapted well. And what Razin says is true. It's about networking. So can you tell us more about how do you network to gain clients, or or do you even have time to network? I know I don't really have time to network, but it's something that I have to do, right?
It's something that you have to do because when you start business, of course, the first people that you approach are your friends and relatives, but that would finish quite fast, and then you need to meet new people, and the only way to meet new people is to go out, join similar interest group, join a welfare organization, volunteer your work, or do a hobby such as cycling, where you meet people from different walks of life, different levels in the industry, but have a common interest like cycling, collecting stamp, maybe reading society. So in order for you to break out of your circle of people, you have to be brave also to step out and join things that you say maybe I do not know anyone.
I think I agree with you on that, because if I'm a teacher, I will sit down with my group of friends, will be a lot of teachers. If I'm a photographer, my group of friends will be mainly photographers. Right. So in order for us to move away to be exposed to a different group of people, then we have to get out of our social circle. And that is, I think a lot of people are having I think they are not comfortable with
anxiety.
They feel out of place. But again, as we go through along, again, for those who do not know, I'm actually an introvert. So are you an introvert as well, or are you an extrovert, highly extroverted? I
both.
don't
I
both.
got the Mayor Briggs thing say I'm half.
Okay, now there's a problem. The story about Hafa, but that one for another day lah. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is you need to be, as an entrepreneur, I guess one of the most important things is we need to learn to adapt to situation, challenges, and so forth. And the art of adaptation, okay, is not something that is taught in school. I think the more you do it, the more you mix with people, you learn how to understand the way people interact with you, and then that's the way when I think at the end of the day it still goes back to the trust. When people trust you, then they will consider of doing business with you. Okay, so that's about the business, the industry, and all that. So in this case, I got one important question to ask you. When you shoot a lot of beautiful ladies all over, hey, your wife don't get jealous?
No, she said I'm not doing enough.
You're not doing enough. I must get. Oh, okay, better not. Okay, that's not saying. Okay, I'm sorry, my wife. It's nothing to do with you. It's about Razin here. Okay, so it's not about doing enough. How come she says that?
No, because how would I say? She feels that I have more to produce.
Right.
And I think it's important to marry or be with someone that understand your work and your mental work processes. Yeah, because when whoever that stands in front of my camera, I'm more concerned on the lighting, the artwork, the emotions, and all the things that brings out a character. Yeah, whether it is a family portrait or is it a personal portrait or a model shoot or anything. So behind the camera, we have to be very professional. We have to produce.
Okay.
If someone stand in front of you and already paying you that kind of money, expectation, and you cannot produce, you know your reputation is
at stake.
At stake. So the pressure is always there. To do well. And especially if the person has have a lot of experience in photo shoot. So she knows that this guy is not there yet. No? So you have to up your game.
So the models would know that that guy is not to the standard that.
Because not just the models, even the CEOs, because even trainers also, because they have been taking photos so long, so many times. They know that that guy behind the camera, is he good or not, without asking his mannerism, his ability to troubleshoot when things go wrong, and the way he interact with the subject. So an experienced person like a model and actor, they will know that I'm working with someone who is very professional. So they will also up their game and then produce a better product.
So have you ever heard stories of a photographer that quite new or not experienced, and then the model just walk out from the shoot or something like that?
The model will still have to be professional. They will still go through it, but when they go out, they will maybe complain to the agent, hey, why is it like that? But at work, people, we are all working professional, so they will do their part.
Okay, alright. So what's next for MacPherson Studio? I mean, you were talking about going out of overseas, going to KL. I think the brand is quite strong, you know.
I think at the moment we are thinking of expanding locally the range of services we have. Right now, video is very popular. So I'm looking forward to raising funds as well at the same time to open a second place where it's more designed to do videography work.
How much do you need?
How much can you give me?
Alright, so that's most important. How much can you give me? Okay. So for those who are looking and interested to invest, you know, in to be part of MacPherson Studio, well, you can just made up with Razin and maybe discuss. You know, I think he's open for opportunities. Again, it's true. That's why I say a lot of business owners don't understand that when we come to the growth stage, we have to at times have an injection of funds, because a lot of funds is, I think you look here, is the whole equipment. I think from how many cameras, strobes you have, you keep increasing, and the quality, you keep painting the walls, you know. I know he keeps painting the walls white, right, because of I think usage over the time, right. So again, growth is good, but you need financial resources for that. I think with the right thing. But what is your thoughts about exploring overseas market?
It's still at the back of my mind. Yeah, I'm still open to it. But of course, I mean the nearer markets will be in Malaysia. I mean I've been going there for a few times to look at which is the area which is suitable, and then I need to establish contacts there, and then because I can't be in two places at one time, so I need to build a good team over there, and also to what do you call that? Really understand the market there. Yeah, I need to spend time a bit. If I want to just go and open, it may be a bit too risky.
I agree. I think through my journey as a coach, one of the things when people venture overseas, through my experience, what they need to do is they spend quite some time there to really mix and understand the market segment that they are going to address. They do a lot of networking to see the challenges that they are going to face, and they make sure that they are able to overcome those challenges with the resources and all that. I think that is one of the best way. You know, it's not that we do not want to venture overseas. I think we have to ensure that there is a right fit. Right, it's not just and we must find the right partners or groups of people that will be able to assist us when we venture overseas. We cannot have that too much of a gung-ho attitude and going to a foreign country and say, okay, listen to me. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That's the last thing that that your partner or people overseas would want to listen to you. Okay, and last question, right? Okay, let's just say, what would be the 3 most important advice that you would give to a person who sees photography as his career, right? To become a professional photographer. What would be your 3 most important piece of advice to this group of people?
First, find a mentor. Learn the right techniques so that you don't make mistakes that new people do. Invest in training and education, workshops. Secondly, you cannot just jump into the market. If you are working, you can try to maybe do some freelance work over the weekend or when you're free, to build the network and build a strong portfolio. So the second one comes with the portfolio lah. You need a very usable portfolio.
What do you mean by usable portfolio?
These people, when they see your work on Instagram or your website or Facebook or YouTube, they know that you can deliver certain quality of work. Because now everybody's a photographer when they have a handphone. So
when they have a handphone, right?
So you have to set a certain distance away from the general public lah. So why are you different? Why should I pay you $100 when I can do it myself?
So you're talking about differentiation now, right?
Different skill sets,
right? To craft your own brand, or to show, why am I different? Why should you buy from me? Why should you get me as a photographer for your jobs, right? So this is what I also talk in Reboot, in my training program as well, because a lot of us, when we position ourselves and in a crowded marketplace, the most important is, how do you differentiate yourself from others? You must understand this, and you must understand your positioning. You look at your strength and also your weakness and see how you play the game. Because again, running a business and positioning is still about, to me, is still about strategies. How you want to move and look at, who are my competitors, what they are doing, why should I be different? And I guess when we look at it in that way, right, there's too many photographers doing the same thing, and then most of them also decide that right, I will go where the market, and it goes to, and I think you understand, the easiest way is still event photography. And what happens when everyone goes to event photography? The price would have to come down, because the market is littered with photographers who wants to do event photography. I understand that you also have cut down on event photography a bit, right? Quite some time ago. I think when you shared with me, and I think it's a good move. We also look at, there are other business models out there, right? For photographers, I think there's some of them also renting equipment, things like that. So so far, I think we won't say that it is a saturated market, but I believe that you actually can move if you really understand. Again, like you said, building your firstly is your skill set. Find a mentor, build your skill set, learn and to become the best that you can be, and then eventually going to decide your own brand or portfolio and say, this is how I shoot, this is my style, and then that's why you are paying me. That's why you are paying me, right? So is that to sum it up? Is that basically the advice that you are giving?
Yeah.
Right. So again, thank you, Razin, very much for this opportunity to interview you. Again, this place brings lots of sentimental value to me. So again, thank you, Razin, and we will have a short tour of the space. Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Razin, tell me more about this MPA, Master Photographers Association, and
Okay.
this.
MPA, Masters Photographer Association, is based in UK. So it's a global association where we have to submit and be awarded this certification.
Yeah.
So so the process is like they have when you are interested to sign up for the what do you call this, the licenseship. Yeah, so they will assign you a mentor, which
Okay.
is a master photographer already or someone of very high qualification. Yeah, and then he asked me to choose about 100 photos.
Right.
I chose the portrait category because I do more portraits then. So I submitted to him. He shortlisted about 30.
Yeah.
And then from these 30 pictures, he asked me to enhance a bit or make some touch up if possible. And then he will submit he asked me to print into like this size.
Okay.
And then this was submitted to a panel of judges. So these judges will then look at all the pictures and then give specific grading. They have about 5 categories of points, meaning composition, artistic value, technicality, and all this thing. I can't remember the exact 5. So there is a minimum. It's just like driving. So you have a minimum points. Once you achieve the minimum points, then you will get the licenseship. Yeah, and then there's also higher levels which I'm not prepared to go, but I think this is for me is already a good achievement. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, and then once I got the licenseship, they sent me the certificate, which I think because I value so much, I put it on my wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So other things also lah.
So this is a Singapore Photographers Award,
Yeah.
achievement and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I saw this. Okay. A lot of people do not know this. Razin is also a recording artist.
Formerly.
Formerly recording artist. Okay. So he was guitarist for what was your Mortal Flower.
Yeah.
Okay. So who shot the cover of the thing?
One of the band members.
Right.
Not. I think he was a supporter of the band.
Supporter of the band.
Actually, these songs were recorded 25 years ago, but we never finished it in terms of producing it.
Okay.
So on the 25th year, the band came together.
Alright.
And then we decided before things happen to us,
Okay, right.
let's do a album
Alright.
to commemorate what we did when we were young.
Yeah.
So we were a punk rock band. So you can see we are jumping.
He's a
here.
punk rocker. Okay.
And this me when I was young and handsome. Yeah. And these are all the guys that I was playing the band with.
Alright.
Yeah. So we recorded about 11 songs. Sorry. So finally, this is what we got after 25 years. Yeah, our own
LP.
Yeah.
Alright.
So the songs that we wrote and played and recorded 25 years ago finally become a physical item.
Right. So
Yeah.
I want to say something. If you really want to do it, there's no excuses, right? Just go for it. And for him, he just created his own LP. And which I asked, have you listened to the video? Sorry, have you listened to this?
Not yet.
Not yet. Because you can't find a player. LP player.
But we minimum quantity to produce this. We produce this in Taiwan, by the way.
Right.
We had to print about 100 pieces. I think we sold more than 60 pieces already.
Wow!
Mainly to our old friends and fans.
So you must make next time the old LP, you know,
Yeah.
platinum, hit platinum.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you cannot see, this is me.
That's him. You see? Of course, I have the flock full of hair and all that.
Yeah, last time more hair. Now